Did you see Master Su off?
Gather some sensors. I have to find a way to help send Chui privately.
Are you at peace with such a plan? That factory is a rare chance, Your Highness. Are you sure helping Shin Chui file an indictment will be enough?
What's your opinion?
If Shin Chui files allegations against his predecessor, even with evidence as witnesses, and considering that he's the new Minister of Revenue, I'm afraid would still simply result to corruption. Master Su also mentioned how the Eastern Palace has begun to shut down the factory. Regardless of the number of appeals filed, in reality, it is still an old case. After all, the Crown Prince is heir to the throne. No matter how His Majesty reprimands him, it won't be severe as compared to you losing your 2 ministers.
So what you mean to say is that we must find a way to raise the issue about the factory before it dies out completely.
That is brilliant, Your Highness. Brother!
Come, Chi. Come with me outside. I want to know the truth. Tell me how he got hurt.
Ching, all of a sudden took ill.
That whole room reeks of blood, and you tell me he fell ill? Did he go out on the night of the Lantern Festival? Why did Father ask him to go?
Please, brother, don't make me answer.
He knew you were pregnant. Yet Father still asked him to do a dangerous task.
Brother, please don't confront Father. Chang did this on his own. He did this on his own free will. So I beg you, brother, please don't confront Father-in-law. Brother!
Father!
Who said you could barge in like that? Don't you know how rude that is?
I would like to ask for your advice, Father.
What is it? Speak.
Out of filial piety, I don't question elders. However, your recent actions baffled me. I will not stand idly by and not speak my mind.
What exactly are you trying to say?
A real man puts his family first. May I ask you, Father, just because you hold a divided position, you instigate Father Cho to murder a minister of the court. Do you think that's considered loyalty? The new year ended, and she is pregnant. Yet you still ordered Brother Qing Yao on a dangerous quest, resulting to his injury. As a father, is this how you love your children?
That is nonsense! From whom exactly did you hear this from?
Father Cho sees you as family, which is why he trusts you and implicitly follows all your commands, Father. Some laws really shouldn't be followed by men. I hope you'll stop before it's too late and not lead our 2 families down the wrong path.
You fool! Such a young age. And you dare reprimand your father? You wander around freely in the pugilist world, not knowing that in court one is either friend or foe. Do you honestly think I can sit on the fence forever? A first-rank marquise like myself would never have to join a faction? Preposterous! The power that I now hold is much sought after, yet you do not even know who that power belongs to. It belongs to the future of His Majesty! In the fight for the throne, I have no advantage. And if Prince Yu ascends the throne, I have no chance at all. The Shis and the Chors may as well be banished from the capital! Wrong path. There's no such thing as right or wrong in court. The winner shall be the right one!
Father!
Silence! Get out. Back then, we did not want him involved at all. However, now, we must be wary of him.
Perhaps it's best to let him be with his friends in the pugilist world. He would gain knowledge, and it would keep him from finding out about what we do.
The friendships he has made are not in vain. Yet from now on, every action we make should always be kept hidden from him.
What was that?
Did you hear that?
Yes, Chief. I even felt the ground tremble.
Send someone to investigate what's going on.
Right away.
Your Highness,
Yes, I heard.
as Your Highness ordered, everything did go according to plan, without any errors.
The innocent may not have been omitted, but only this way can we make full use of the fireworks factory case.
The factory exploded?
Yes. On top of the recent hot weather, the sparks caused the explosion, which made the entire fireworks factory raze to the ground. Those that were affected amounted to 90 homes. All of them destroyed and burnt down an entire street.
How many deaths?
Inside the factory alone, dozens had died from the fire. Together with residents that lived nearby, there were at least 100. Those injured are more than 100 civilians.
Is the fire under control?
Since it was not a windy day, the street beside it wasn't affected, so the fire has been put out.
Still, an entire street burned down.
Yes. The fire was completely out of control. The magistrate's officers arrived, but only a few came. Even with the people who came to help put out the fire, it was difficult to handle.
Did it cause any riots?
Some scoundrels did take the opportunity to start looting. The Capitol Patrol came but failed to help the situation, and luckily Prince Jing arrived with his soldiers. That's when everything was settled.
Jingyan arrived?
Prince Jing, His Highness, had issued tents from the army to settle victims and the injured. The imperial physicians were engaged and could not be deployed, so in his own expense, he was able to send private physicians. I have also ordered our people from the medical who are in the capital to help out.
Well done. Technically, since the new year passed, there should be few people still lighting fireworks. Yet the riskiest time for the fireworks factory, as of now, should have already went by, right?
Then what do you suspect, Chief? That this explosion was on purpose? Chief, if you would allow me to, I can check on Prince Yu and see if he was behind all of this.
Be sure these people did not die for nothing. Report any leads to me at once.
As you wish.
What did you say? What do you mean the factory exploded? Didn't I tell you to stop operating already?
Yes, Your Highness. When Your Highness sent the message that Shui knew about the factory, I knew immediately to take action. I hastily sent people packing. I just wanted a bit more work done before we decided to close down. All was going well last night. I didn't expect today.
How did the fire start?
I don't know either. Perhaps we were rushing too much. Perhaps we left sparks. After all, it's storage for gunpowder. Even the slightest bit of flame could have set off the explosion.
Fetch me Shiyu. Deploy the Capitol Patrol. Cordon off the site. No one is allowed in.
Your Highness, they're there already. Although, the magistrate's office had arrived first. Prince Jing's men are there as well. Even if we ask them to leave, Your Highness, there's not a way we'll be able to hide this.
Cannot hide it. Cannot hide it. Attendants! Get my carriage!
Your Highness! Your Highness!
Oh! Unauthorized people aren't allowed. What are you here for?
I came for him.
General. Sure, go in then.
Master Su,
General Liu. Where is His Highness?
inside. He's inspecting the exploded factory.
I understand.
Here!
Greetings, my lady.
My lady.
Master Su. The House of Mu has sent some goods. Give it to those in need.
Yes.
Get two people over here!
Your Highness.
My lady,
Greetings, Your Highness.
Help, please! Someone's here!
how quickly you came, Master Su. But it seems to me, no major event clearly evades you.
To witness this awful scene, and in the capital of Lian, is too much of a tragedy.
The residents here were hardworking people. Who would have realized that they lived right next to a place that stores illegal gunpowder? Such tragic fate. If they only had another day.
Another day? What would one more day do?
Yesterday, Minister Shun said he submitted a report to petition His Majesty to close down this illegal fireworks factory. He was quite optimistic, saying it'll be approved in a day or two. Yet who knew? One day after the filed petition, a tragic accident like this were to happen.
Do you truly think this is an accident?
What are you trying to implicate?
This was originally a case of corruption. However, this explosion makes this case no longer only in the court. It now concerns hundreds of people's lives. The people's anger will eventually boil over. The Eastern Palace will suffer a harsher punishment. Think about it, Your Highness. If this thing does blow up, who would be the ultimate beneficiary?
Having such disregard for human life, only to raise threats against the Crown Prince? Or perhaps Master Su was behind all of this with Prince Yu.
Xiao Jingyan, what exactly are you saying?
Master Su was so detailed in predicting outcomes. I simply thought...
You thought what? Whatever the reason, how can you accuse him of such malice? Master Su arrived at the capital. Did he ever offend you? Why do you shame him?
My lady.
Tell me, you're no longer in the battlefield. How come you cannot apologize for speaking incorrectly?
My lady, Your Highness didn't mean to do so.
Nobody should say such things, even if it is him.
My lady. Your Highness is mistaken. It was not my idea at all.
It was my mistake. I hope you do not take offense.
You're the Crown Prince of the East! How can you still be so greedy?
You can't blame me for that. Because Jing Huan was pushing me so hard, and to stave him off, there were too many areas I had to spend money on.
I recall a few censors who work for Prince Yu that are actually your people.
There are quite a few.
Inform them at once to file petitions to impeach you. The bigger the crime, the better, even if that means deposing you from your throne.
Am I really going to be deposed?
That wretched factory gave you no room for defense. You can only plead guilty. But His Majesty is a suspicious man. The more angry Prince Yu's men attacks you, then all the more he'll know it's factional conflict.
What are you saying, Mother?
I'm saying as long as His Majesty believes that this is a factional conflict, even with all his anger and his rage, he'd still give leeway. And all because, just to avoid having Prince Yu gain too much advantage, losing the balance of the court.
I understand. All right, I'll see to it now.
Your Highness.
What is it?
Your Highness, I've completed the survey. Apart from the supplies issued from our manor, 200 tents and 450 kilts were borrowed. These are all army supplies. Shall I report all of this to the Ministry of Defense?
I'd forgotten about that. Yet it isn't very serious. I suppose we'd better report it.
Yes, sir.
Just a second. There's no need to report this.
Why not?
There is no need for questions. Master Su said so, just do it. Let us all pretend Prince Jing forgot, and so did you.
Do as her ladyship requests.
Yes, sir.
Even if these army supplies are given to me, but by giving them to the victims is considered inappropriate, it's a policy that I must report this to the ministry. Why stop me from doing so?
Your Highness did not even know my reason, yet you still followed. Aren't you afraid it might be another one of my evil schemes?
I spoke out of turn. Please do not be offended.
The House of Mu supplies are here. Shouldn't my lady go take a look?
Yes, I should do so. Excuse me.
Are we in a time of war?
Of course not.
Are these tents and quilts considered important army supplies?
In terms of quantity, they are almost nothing.
Can they be recovered after use?
Yes, of course they can.
Since there's no war, how crucial is it to simply lend a few tents and quilts?
It may not be serious, but rules must still be observed.
And if you fail to do so?
Master Su, you should know. The Ministry of Defense follows the Crown Prince. This may be a small error, but once the Ministry finds out, I assure you they will charge me.
That's exactly what I want to happen. Your Highness made great haste to help disaster victims. Is that a bad thing?
Of course not.
Since it is a good deed, and the error is minor, makes all the more reason for the Ministry to let you off. If they filed a complaint, would His Majesty and officials think your error was excusable? Or would they think the Crown Prince is using the Ministry to suppress you? The Crown Prince clearly is no longer capable of deceiving anyone in court. If the Ministry charges you, admit your mistake. There'll be naturally righteous ministers who will defend you. What else is there to worry about?
I'm not worried about what the Ministry would do. My father may be stern. Yet I am not simply worried about petty accusations. It's because it's easy to avoid such a mistake. Why create such a big fuss?
It's all the more reason to make a fuss, since everyone in court will be too occupied with the Crown Prince and Prince Yu. Who will pay attention to your Highness's mistakes?
Didn't you advise me that I should do less talking and take more action?
You don't do the talking. You let others do it for you. Once the ministry starts accusing you, His Majesty and the officials will see that, while Prince Yu and the Crown Prince are fighting, it was you who kept things under control, who was calm enough, and only you who was wrongly accused, even if you didn't join the fight. Everyone has their own judgment. People always know what's right and wrong. If, however, you reported this to the Ministry of Defense, then you would be playing by rules, yet your deeds will be unnoticed.
But I'm not doing this to gain any recognition.
If you performed acts simply for everyone to see, then that doesn't exhibit integrity. But if no one knows the good deeds you've done, then as your advisor, I have failed you.
Summoning Prince Yu and Jinghuan, Minister of Revenue Shenzhui, Magistrate of the Capital, with Gao Sheng as an audience.
I called all three of you here for us to discuss how we should handle the illegal factory case. Minister Shen, you were the very first to report to me. Now I need you to tell me what you know about all of this.
After I've been converted to the officer of the State of Revenue, I was able to gather past ledgers and water transports. I discovered illegal gunpowder smuggling, which led me to this illegal fireworks factory. By then, Lao Shi-chin had been dismissed and sentenced. However, the factory did not stop operating. In the end, the Eastern Palace was also involved as well. In the current report I have submitted, I mentioned how the profit was split between Lao Shi-chin and the Eastern Palace. It was signed and received by the clerk Han Li at the Crown Prince's palace.
And where is Han Li right now?
Your Majesty, he's currently locked up in the Imperial prison.
Crown Prince? Anything you wish to say?
I confess, I didn't discipline my workers well. This Han Li truly is absurd and bold enough to disregard the law. However, for not paying attention sooner, I cannot be absolved of blame.
Minister Shun, do you have evidence that directly proves that Crown Prince is involved?
Your Majesty, no one at all from the ledgers that were seized carried the personal seal of the Crown Prince.
You mean it's possible this crime was committed by Han Li alone without the Crown Prince knowing? Is that what you're telling me?
Lao Shi-chin was the former minister, a second-rank official, a secretary and key official who alone controls a ministry. However, on the other hand, Han Li was merely a fourth-rank official under the Eastern Palace.
What are you trying to tell me here? Huh, Minister Shun?
An observation based from the split of profit that is being made every year for 5 years. Lao Shi-chin consistently only made 2/10, while Han Li made 8/10. I personally find Han Li remarkable. It really is very extraordinary how a mere small fourth-rank official was somehow able to transcend beyond a fourth-rank official, as well as a minister of revenue such as Lao Shi-chin. It truly makes me wonder.
Capital Magistrate,
Your Highness.
can you tell me how many losses were there at the scene of explosion?
As of today, 64 houses have completely burned down, 121 died, 39 badly injured, more than 100 mild ones. Other finances haven't been tallied.
How are the masses feeling?
Your Majesty, we try to help, but the scene's much too tragic, with too many deaths. This could mean public anger that would likely to boil over. They're all very unstable.
Prince Yu,
Yes, Your Majesty.
Tell me, what do you think the punishment should be for the Crown Prince in this case?
When I heard of the incident yesterday, I was shocked. Although, since the Crown Prince clearly has no knowledge of it, I dare not presume otherwise. I hope Father investigates further and does not do him wrong.
You only found out about it yesterday?
Since Mother recovered from her illness, I've been fasting since the 10th. I stayed home the whole time. That's why I heard it much later.
Well, this case only happened exactly 3 days ago. And already I have had 17 reports from the members of the Ministry of State. Some of them are convinced the Crown Prince made a serious crime and shouldn't be an heir to the throne. Therefore, they wish for him to be abolished.
What? The Crown Prince's position is crucial. How can they take it lightly?
You were also not aware of the censor's comments?
This is the first I've heard of it.
Then what do you think is the proper punishment?
It is only fair that the people injured, and for the families of the deceased, to be fairly compensated. As for the Crown Prince, although he's guilty of being lax, he is still the next heir. That is why I beg you to preserve his remaining self-respect.
Don't you see the Crown Prince made a very immoral and evil deed? I am utterly humiliated by him, and you ask me to preserve his dignity?
Please calm down,
Calm
Your
down,
Majesty.
Your Majesty.
Calm down, Your Majesty.
Pass this decree. The Crown Prince had committed moral misconduct. Thereby, he is ordered to move to Guija Palace. During this time, he can partake in matters of the court. The investigation will be led by the Ministry of Justice. All officials involved, no matter what their rank, is promised to be punished quite severely.
Your Highness, please have something to eat. Your title is still there. Noble Consort Yu is here too. It might be a bit difficult now, but once His Majesty calms down, everything will get better.
Shao Jingwan. Shen Chui. No, I won't simply let this go so easily. Once I'm back on my feet, you will be sorry.
Your Highness.
All of you will die! Every one of you! Once I ascend the throne, you will all die! And that Prince Jing, when did Father ever care about him? How dare he oppose me? What is Li Lin doing now? Didn't he say he has something on him? Why hasn't he filed an indictment yet?
Your Highness, he has filed it already.
Then why isn't he being dealt with yet?
Prince Jing appropriated the army supplies for an emergency, forgetting to report it. He even willingly admitted that he was guilty. But Chen Chui defended him, and then he blamed the Ministry of Defense for attacking him. The rest of the officials followed his side. Even His Majesty did not scold him, but rather praised him for being decisive. He was told to file a report at a later date. The Ministry of Defense took a hit, but it was all for nothing, and Prince Jing managed to look good in front of His Majesty.
Your Highness, shall I send these out too?
Yes, these are important. Take them.
Yes.
But please do it slowly.
Yes.
Be
Your
careful with
Highness
it.
treats his Kirin scholar well. He returns everything you have sent him each time, yet you still continue to gather and send him valuables with such generosity.
Whether he accepts my gifts or not, it's his business, but it's my way of courtesy. Since the Duke Qing's case, then when he stopped me to attack the Crown Prince, he may not have given me much advice, but each advice he did give was vital. Such talent, I can guarantee that his name is not for nothing. In terms of merit, I don't think even you can beat his contribution, so I should truly be grateful.
So do
Take
tell
that
me
too.
exactly what you sent this time.
Since the season of spring is just around the corner, I hear he is renovating his garden. I decided to send him some exquisite yet not gaudy ornaments. Nothing extravagant or too expensive, but something he can find useful. And perhaps this time, he'll finally accept them.
This
Be
master
careful
suit
with that.
acquires unique taste. The garden he designed himself must look quite splendid. It's a shame
Oh,
that
don't
having my
forget this.
status, I cannot visit. I won't see it for myself.
That's not a problem. Once he is done with the renovation, I can take you with me when I visit.
Do you really mean that, Your Highness?
2 months. It's only been 2 months. You've completely altered it successfully. I almost didn't recognize this was the place I recommended to you.
I included the garden from next door as well. Failure will enjoy playing in this larger space.
Oh, this will be your very first time hosting a function since you've arrived, won't it?
Since it's a new home, why not have guests over?
To receive an invitation from you, thank you. It really is an honor.
Commander Meng, the guests are yet to arrive, yet you have started acting already.
Did I say something wrong? And how many people have you invited?
There is Jingri and Yujin, her ladyship, and Shadong.
Including me, that's 5 of us then. This...
Oh, her ladyship will bring Muqing along, and Shadong will bring Sha Chun.
Sha Chun is coming?
There is somebody I didn't invite, but I know he will turn up uninvited.
Who's that?
Now this is a fitting home for Mei of Zhangzhuo. Just now from the entrance, it's a different view at each step, a variety of tones. It truly is a garden designed by you.
Your Highness, it's merely a small renovation. It was not a grand move, which is why I kept from informing you. I didn't expect Your Highness to arrive.
Well, luckily I happen to know the other guests you've invited. Otherwise, with an uninvited guest like myself, no one will enjoy themselves. Who did you happen to invite?
Commander Meng recommended this house to me, so he was first on my list. Jingri and Yujin have also arrived, and they're having tea.
Chief, the guests have now all arrived.
Good. Your Highness, this way.
All right. Please.
This is the 7th kind of wine, not to mention the food here. The best thing about the serving is that each dish is paired with a different kind of wine, creating a unique taste.
Eugene, being a connoisseur of wine, would you know the names of all the wines Sue served us?
This is Chuyu Bai, right?
Yujin, being a connoisseur, it's easy for him to name the wines. Jingri? How many wines can you name?
Oh, I can't. I can only taste Jiao Dian Hong.
Is that true? You can recognize Zhao Dianhong?
Over the New Year's, Brother Qing Yao gave Shebi a bottle. I tasted some, so I can remember.
You were drinking Zhao Dianhong without me? I'm never speaking to Shebi, nor you!
Eugene, how old are you supposed to be? You still act so childish.
Jingri.
Huh?
I heard that Brother Qing Yao is sick and hasn't been well for a month. Is he getting better?
He's feeling much better.
Good. Many people from the pugilist world aren't used to the capital. It's better to be more careful. Since we had wine, sitting around can get dull. So last night, an idea for a game came to mind, yet I don't know if you'll be interested.
Even if we don't take part in your game, anything from you is always intriguing.
Great.
Go ahead.
Tell us.
All right then. I chanced upon a music score on bamboo slips. I deciphered it. It appears to be the long-lost ancient tune, Guangling San.
Huh? Oh, it's really Guangling San?
I hid this score somewhere in the house last night. You're welcome to search inside and outside. And the one who finds it shall be the one to keep the score.
Master Su, you'll be in trouble. My brother knows everything about music. If he knew that score is hidden in your residence, he would still manage to find it, in spite of turning this place upside down.
Not until someone finds it. No one wins or loses yet. Jingrui, young Prince Mu, let's form a team, huh?
All right.
Eugene, you really know how to get help. Both are no music enthusiasts. So even if they found it, Eugene will be the one to take the score.
Oh, Officer Shaw doesn't have anyone. Sister Dong, I'll help you.
Where?
On your left, on your left. Nothing here. Move to your right.
You're so heavy.
Okay, over here. Careful.
Where is
right
it?
Here. It's right here.
Hurry up, will you? My back's going to break.
Okay,
I
fine.
can't take it anymore.
Wait a little longer. There's nothing here. Over here. Here.
Did you just check
No,
there?
I haven't. Jingrui, did you find anything?
No, I haven't.
Let's search over there. Come on.
Oh, let's go.
Higher.
Hurry up, I can't hold it
Wait,
longer.
let me look.
See anything?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
It appears we're the only ones left, willing to sit still. Seeing how Sha Chun strode out, he's very determined to find it.
Yeah.
Officer Sha Chun loves these things. Last time, he argued with His Majesty over an ancient music score.
Oh?
I once heard in Xuanjing Bureau, Officer Sha Chun was best at finding hidden doors and artifices. I'm sure he'll see right through my amateur disguises. I'm afraid that Eugene will have to be disappointed.
It's hard to say. Your garden isn't exactly small. They will need luck if in the beginning they choose the correct direction.
Miss Chin, you seem to be interested. How about trying your luck as well?
That's very considerate of you. Then, you can go.
Thank you, Your Highness. Thank you, Master Su.
Cheers, Commander Meng.
Cheers.
Master Su, cheers.
Cheers.
I know! How can we be so stupid? Brother Su absolutely loves music. How can he let his precious music outside, or it can easily get damaged? That's why we have to be inside. Isn't that right? Come on!
Why didn't you say so earlier?
Let's go.
What kind of friend is he?
Brother Chun, are you going to turn this manor inside out? What if it's outside?
It's not. Scrolls and scores are stored carefully. It must be kept dry. Master Su said he hid it outside. Not considering the rain from 2 days ago. Just the dew in the mornings and evenings can ruin it. How could he have hid it outside? Keep looking. It can only be inside. I'll look in the inner room.